Okay, hello everyone, Everest Gauge team. So we are using now the learning portal to set up exams for students. After you have uploaded your exam into the report portal, the administrator will download it and then moderate it, then upload it again. After she has finished or he has finished uploading it, then you download it and use it to set up an exam here in the learning portal for the child to do. Once they log in, they can find the exam. So I'm just going to try to show you, take you through how to do this whole thing of setting up an exam, because it's a lot of workload for the admin to do it for every teacher and for every child you have. So it is better you do it yourself and you get to learn how to use the system. Now, once you've logged in, you should find some subjects already on your dashboard. This is your dashboard that you have been assigned. Like, let's say if you teach geography, you'd find geography, or if you take geography and English and computers and whatever, you'd find all the subjects in your dashboard. Like you see, I've been right now what I have on my dashboard is checkpoint math, checkpoint English, computer studies. So I'm going to use these to show you how to set up an exam within the system, within the learning portal. So let me use checkpoint English. So you click on it. So now there's already a paper present here. This is to show you the three ways. We're going to start just with these that you can set up an exam. You can set up an exam directly, like a quiz, where the person answers the questions within the system, which should be done for your papers. Then there's also where you upload the paper, then the child downloads it as a file. Then once they're done downloading it, as you see the instructions, you may download the PDF version of the exam. So then afterwards, they can upload the scanned PDF of their answer sheet. They must upload the scanned PDF of the answer sheet so that you can mark it later and put the marks of the child within the system. So you see, if you have decided to download and handwrite the exam, please scan the exam using an appropriate scanning device or software. Upload a PDF version of the exam here. So how are you going to do all this? First, you come here to this icon here of settings. And then, of course, before it's usually when you come to your this page, usually you don't find any of the words that you previously saw there. But when you come here, usually it has this pencil that shows turn editing on. This is going to allow you to put the questions that you need to put within the system. So I turn the editing on. Once I've turned the editing on, then I am able to add an activity or resource. So you come here to this plus, add an activity or resource. So this is where you can upload, you can say you are going to add a file, you want to add an assignment, or you're going to add a quiz. So I'm going to take you through at least these three. Then maybe as you go on learning this program, you will learn all the others on this activity section. So adding a quiz, you click on it. This is where you're creating a quiz where someone is going to answer within the system. So let's say I'm going to call this quiz example assessment, something like that. And then you put, maybe say the description you want, maybe the instructions you want the person to follow once they're doing the exam. Or maybe you just want to write, let's say you can find your online assessment here. So you just write that. Then you tick this so that they can see this on the course page, on the course page, the description. If you don't tick it, they won't be able to see it. Timing. This shows the day you want the paper to be done and for how many hours and for how long it will be available for them to do it. So once I click enable on this paper would be available, let's say from 14th at midnight to, this uses a 24-hour clock, to 11:59. So it's going to be available for the whole day for them to do it. Once it switches to midnight on 15th, the paper won't be available for them to do. And then you enable the hours. For how long is this is this paper for? Maybe say it's for 1 hour. In the options, this paper is for 1 hour. You come here to grade. It may be that you want them to attempt this paper once, or maybe if it's just a small test, you want them to be able to attempt a number of times. But let's say it's a real exam, you would only allow one attempt. The rest of these things, I won't take you through them for now. Then you press save and return to course. Once you've done, you see, my example assessment is here. Now, how do you put in the questions? You come here to edit settings. I'm sorry. Let's edit settings. Edit settings. You come here, you first click on here, and then you press edit quiz. This will allow you to place in questions within the system. So maximum grade, this is what your paper should be finally be graded out of. So your paper may be graded out of 25, 50, whatever you have decided. Let me put this at 100. Grade your paper out of. Then you press save. So you come here to add a new question. Let's say add a question. For putting, like, for example, instructions or that section, like maybe say in your actual exam paper that you have set that is moderated, there'll be that page that has the logo, the tutor, the subject, the time duration, the instructions. You'd put them on this page. Come right there, the word instructions. And then let me see if I can find a sample test to use. Okay. Let me go to exams. Go to documents. Let me use this exam here. Let's see if it has opened. Okay, so this is an exam for Owen. So if you can highlight this whole section, you copy it. So doing this would be kind of difficult on phone, especially the instructions part. But the rest, the typing in of questions should be quite fine. You should be able to type in the questions on your phone. Okay. So you see, it's done. Then I save changes. So this is to preview. So if you preview, this is how it would look at first. See? When the child first comes to the paper. Then to add a new question, you click on there. Now these are options of setting the paper. The paper might be either multiple choice, short answer, matching, true or false, or essay, and then there are these other ways you can set the paper. But I'm going to focus on let's say these 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let me start with essay, because if it's like maybe say subjects like geography or English, you might not have all your questions in objective style. So let's say if I click on essay, press add, say question 1. Sorry. I come here and I go back to my paper. This is because I'm not the one who set the paper, so I don't really know the questions very well. But if you're the one setting the paper, you'd really know. You could just type them directly inside. So use the quadratic formula to solve the following. I could copy this and put it here. So then I write the question to x squared. Let me try and make this. This is for more of mathematicians, but let me just make it. Maybe not make it directly like how it's appearing there. That would be a bit more complicated. I'll take through the people who are teaching math would have to learn how to use this equation editor. Otherwise, the equation editor would make it easy to find symbols, to put more advanced formulas like these ones, or where it requires a power to be placed, something like that. So I don't want to really go into that. I just want to show you how to set an essay question. So I'm just going to make the set question much more simple. To x plus 3 is equal to 4, something like that. So once you have that question there, then you put the mark. Maybe how many marks does it have? 3 marks. And then text input is optional. This is when you wouldn't mind if the child wrote down the answer inside, or they can upload their scanned answer. It depends on you who's setting. If you want the child to type within, or you want them to just write outside and then they upload the scanned answer. So text input is optional, or text input is required. Depends on you who is setting. So input box size. This is how much space they would give the child to answer the question. So depending on how large the question is in terms of points required, you can set it to 20 lines, 40 lines, 30 lines. That is all dependent on you. I'm going to put 10. So do you want attachments? Do you want the child, let's say if you require them to draw a map of something, maybe a map of Africa or a map of Canada or something like that. So there they would need to attach a file to be able to scan and attach a file. So you can set it to allow attachments so that they can attach a file and upload it there for that particular question. It would only apply for that question you're setting. So I say 1. So I can file types, save the PDF. and you save changes. So there's my question 1 and how it's appearing. This is the answer space. This is the where the child would drop the attachment of the file if you required one. That is it. Simple. Let's try another question style. That's for essay. If it's multiple choice, quite easy. And I'm going to have to think of math questions, which I've put myself in trouble. But let's say you're asking which of these is a prime number? And then you have 1 mark for that. So it's number the choices. So here you can have the options called ABC in small letters, or called ABC in capital letters, or 1, 2, 3, or Roman numeral 1, 2, 3, or you don't want any number. It's really up to you who's setting how you want it to appear and whether it would be easy for the child to understand. So I'm going to require ABC. So I'm going to put here 2, and here the grade, I'll say this is the correct answer. If it's your correct answer, then you should have 100%. 2, and then all the others I can make them wrong. 6, 8, let me see, 24. These are all not prime numbers, so I'm not going to put any percentage of them to show any that they are kind of correct. Once I'm done doing that, I press save changes. So to preview, how does that look like? It looks like this. Which of these is a prime number? Then I click on 2. Then I save. So shows that my answer is correct and it is saved. Okay, so that's how multiple choice looks like. Add a new question. Let's look at short answer. I'll stop on this. The rest you go inside the system, you discover by yourself. Let me think of a third question. Let's see, mathematical question. Let me see, the question would be, what are the factors of 2? So press enter, and then I create this dash to indicate that the answer box should be about there. The system will understand that that's where the child is supposed to answer. So you come here, let's say this is 1 mark, the default mark is 1 mark, and then in short answer, the person is supposed to write exactly the answer you have premeditated the system to mark correctly. So in this case, in my mind, the factors of 2 are 1, 2. 1 and 2. So that should be 100%. But knowing that different children may not write it exactly how you've written it and they'll still be correct, you have to look at different ways. They might write 1 and 2. Still, you make that 100%. You think of especially if the way of writing may not be strictly in a certain way. or they might write 2 and 1. So you're giving all options so that the system marks for you instead of you coming to check for every child how they wrote. Let me see. Say 2 and 1. Then you say, okay, so if there are some others who wrote slightly different but the answer was still correct, you take note. But I've given enough options to see whatever way the child might write it. Then I press Save Changes. So, look at my preview. What are the factors of 2? You see that it has created an answer box. Before you were seeing a line when you were setting a question, but it has detected here there's supposed to be a box where the child writes the answer. So the child's supposed to write 1 and 2. And if they write anything else, they'll be marked wrong. So I'm going to stop here. For showing you how to set an exam within the system. The rest, maybe we'll set up another video and you'll see how to upload a file or set up an assignment. But since I've showed you the first way of setting up a quiz, the rest are kind of following a similar pattern. They shouldn't be so hard to figure out. So please go ahead when you're setting up exams or assignments or tests. Use the system. It marks itself. It's able to be set up to mark it by itself. It would make work easier. It would help the records. All right. Thank you very much.